Hello everybody, Tommyruin here, and today I'm going to be going over a Rain of Fire based build that is completely destroying everything on Project Ascension at the moment. It is a ridiculous build and I will show you why very soon. So in this video I'm going to go over the talent setup and the abilities that you're going to get. You can find that link down in the description, and then I will show you a rotation and talk about the random enchants and stuff, and then I think I'm just going to play some gameplay so you guys can watch and see how the build plays out. So in the talents then, in Balance Druid, we've got 1 point in Balance of Power, we've got 3 points in Ranged Weapon Specialization, so that increases our damage when we've got a ranged weapon equipped. Then in Mage we've got 3 points in Arcane Concentration for the clear casting. We got a point in Focus Magic for the extra crit. We got 3 points in Arcane Meditation for the mana regen, as well as Spell Haste. Arcane Power for the burst cooldown. We got 5 points in Ignite for the fire damage when you crit. So when our Rain of Fire crits, we'll do Ignite damage. We got 3 points in Critical Mass for the spell crit on our fire spells. 5 points in Firepower for the 10% fire damage, and then Icy Veins for the Spell Haste. In Discipline Priest, I've got 3 points in Enlightenment for the Spell Haste, and also the extra Spirit is quite nice. Power Infusion for the Spell Haste. In Rogue, we've got 1 point in Hunger for Blood for 5% damage. This is a talent which you put in every DPS build. Then in Shaman, we have 1 point in Elemental Focus and 2 points in Elemental Oath for the 5% crit and the clear casting, which will then increases our damage of the next spell by 10% as well. So that gives us 10% on our Rain of Fire and 5% more crit. In Warlock, we have 2 points in Master Conjuror for the increased haste given by spell stones. And then in Destruction, we have 3 points in Cataclysm for the 30% Rain of Fire damage. We've got 1 point in Shadowburn, and I'll explain why in a minute. We've got 5 points in Ruin for the 100% increased critical strike damage bonus. We've got 2 points in Intensity for the reduced pushback when we're channeling our Rain of Fire. 1 point in Devastation for the 5% crit chance, and then 3 points in Backdraft. So this is why we take Shadowburn, because when we use it, it gives us 30% less casting speed. Sorry, an increased 30% casting speed on our next 3 destruction spells. So that will massively reduce the channel time of our Rain of Fire. So that is the talent setup, the abilities you can find in there as well. The main ones though are probably Spellstone, Rain of Fire and Shadowburn. They're the only spells that you really need, I think. Yep, pretty much that is all you need. Okay, so let's talk about the REs then. We've got 3 Devastation for the 6% Destruction spell crit. We've got 3 Critical Mass for the 6% Fire crit. We've got 3 Cataclysm for the 12% Rain of Fire damage. We've got 3 Master Conjuror for the extra spell haste we get. We've got 1 One-Handed Weapon Specialization, which gives us 2% damage. We've then got Balance of Power for the 2% spell hit. And we've got Playing with Fire for the 2% spell damage. Then for the legendary, you can take 3 different legendaries actually, and they all kind of play slightly differently, I guess. You can go for the Metamorphosis build, which will give you 5% extra damage. You only have to put points into Metamorphosis then, so you've got to kind of look towards Metamorphosis a bit more. You've got to put some points into Nemesis and get a few different REs, but it's where you stay in meta the whole time and you do the same rotation, but you also have Immolation Aura on there as well, so you can pick up Demonic Influence for that one. You can also go for Infused Gems, which gives you increased spell haste when you use a Mana Gem, which is an item you get when you use the Conjure Mana Gem spell from Mage. And this gives you spell haste, so that's an extra burst trinket cooldown effectively, and you can have 3 charges of those in one fight. So that is an extra spell haste cooldown which you can use to reduce the channel time. I don't really like this one. Once you've used the cooldown, you have very little. You probably only get through 1 cast of Rain of Fire while you've got it on. So I don't really like this one, but some people like it, and it's good for mana management as well because you get the mana back when you use your mana gem. And then the one that I like to use is Spell Slinger, because that generates a clear casting proc, and one item or one set of items that you can get, which is really, really nice, is the 3-piece set from AQ. The 3-piece mage set, the Enigma set, because the 3-set bonus is customized on Ascension, and what it does is reduce the casting time of your next spell after clear casting by 20%. So you proc loads of clear casting using the Spell Slinger RE, and that means that basically every spell has a 20% reduced cast time. So that's really nice, and that's why I use that one. It's also great for mana management because the clear casting effect means that you don't actually spend any mana on your Rain of Fires. So it's quite friendly in that regard. So let's go on to the rotation then. So with this spec, it's basically a 2-button spec, 3-button spec, I guess. You press Shadowburn, which gives you a backdraft, and then you do 3 Rain of Fires, and then you repeat. At the beginning of the fight and every minute, you'll probably want to replace your Searing Totem and then press cooldowns when they come up. But this spec is so simple, guys, and as you can see in the footage, it is surprisingly good in single target. You wouldn't think just an AoE spell single target build would be that good, but I pull about 2.5k single target on the dummies, self-buffed. And then when you add in extra targets, your damage multiplies. So as you can see, when I switch from 1 to 4 targets on the dummies, my damage just quadruples. It's just free extra damage. And if you're in a fight where you've got adds constantly coming into the boss, say you're doing Fankris or something, and you can just channel your Rain of Fire, and then when the adds come in, your damage just booms. You've got extra damage coming in. It's a really easy spec to play, and let's see what happens. I hope you guys enjoy this video, enjoy the footage, and I will see you all very soon.
Quest complete.
Is it you? Is it me?